I hate to see a producer get f***ed over, especially when that producer is me. So if you're one of those people who love seeing producers, artists, creatives in general getting f***ed over, this is not a video for you. Don't even watch it. But if you feel that hardworking producers deserve to get compensated fairly for their time and their services, and you believe that the people that f***ed them over deserve to get exposed for it, you'll like this video. Now, right off the bat, I just want to give you 5 steps that I use to avoid getting fucked over by these greedy, evil artists, of which I have run into very few, fortunately. I love working with unsigned artists. I love working with all artists. 95% of all my experiences are great. But I have learned from that 5% of bad experiences, and these are 5 steps that I want to share with you to prevent this kind of situation as often as possible. Number 1, so simple, communicate clearly. Name your prices up front, name your expectations up front, name your timelines up front. You know, this is how much it's going to cost to make an exclusive custom beat for you. This is how long it generally takes. This is how I do it. This is the deposit amount I want. Make sure they agree from the very beginning. And number 2, it's important to have that conversation in writing. This is a reason why I ask for people to text me rather than get on the phone. Even the word phone starts with PH, and the word finesse could start with PH if you misspelled it, but you get my point. They're both sounds. All I'm saying is it's your word against theirs with a phone call, but if it's in writing, you have proof. Number 3, get a deposit for custom work. Because even if they screw you over, which is what happened in the story I'm about to tell you, you still got paid something for your time. Number 4, don't overreact. Keep your impulses in check. If it seems like an artist is ducking payment, communicate clearly and directly. Don't lead with your emotions, because you could have it wrong. You know, your emotions could be wrong. You could reach out and say something like this: hey, our agreement was as follows. I need you to honor this agreement by such and such a date by paying the full balance as we agreed. Can you pay by this date? If they ignore you or if they can't give you an answer, then you've gotten to the bottom of it. They're about to fuck you over. But more than likely, they just need you to be direct. Maybe they say, okay, I need an extension, or can I make a partial payment? And all of that is fine. You know, be fair, give grace, which is actually number 5, give grace. Don't just assume everyone's out to rob you. Don't get turned up. Keep your emotions in check again. And if an artist says, hey, I need until next Friday, or hey, can I give you a partial payment? I'm of the opinion that, yeah, absolutely. You know, everyone has these moments where there are unanticipated expenses or things happen in life. And for me, I've been screwed over a lot of times. I talk about it on this platform, and I try to learn from these situations. And if I let that stop me, or if I use that as an excuse to disrespect my collaborators, I'd be absolutely miserable. I wouldn't enjoy doing this, and I probably would just give up. So let's get into how this rapper robbed me. I shared this on Threads. A couple people, well, one or two people made me out to be some type of misogynist piece of shit because the rapper who robbed me happened to be a woman. Now, if a woman steals my car, I'm not sexist for being upset about that. That's ridiculous. Here's a male rapper who did the exact same thing to me, the exact same thing years ago. And it shows why it's important to keep a record of communication, written communication, not over the phone, written communication, because look at what he tries to do. This happened over a course of several years, so I'm not actually going to tell the whole story or show the whole saga. In a nutshell, this artist reaches out to me, tells me they want a beat with such and such a sample. I say, cool. They pay the deposit. I make the beat. They say it's perfect. And then when it comes time for them to pay the remaining deposit, they're ducking and ducking and ducking. This probably happened in 2022. So 2 years later, and this guy, I don't understand. People have a lot of audacity. This guy reaches out to me, and this is not the first time he reached out to me. I don't even think it was the last time he reached out to me. I'm pretty sure I blocked him at this point. But he reaches out to me, and you can always tell an unhinged person when they don't actually send you the email message in the body. They send it in the subject. He says, okay, how can I look up your beats still just in case I hear something I like? And I said, look, I'm not working with you until the other business is resolved. He says, this is gaslighting. This is why I keep a written record. Watch this. He says, I need to hear the beat to see if it's even what I was asking for because it didn't sound like it. So now he's trying to act like back when I made the beat for him, there was something wrong with the beat, and that's why he didn't pay the balance. Nah, man, I got the screenshots. Here he is, right here on Instagram. I know it's been a delay on the beat. I've been going through some hard times, but everything is working on now, whatever that means. So I'll be getting it soon as possible. Sorry for the wait. This was back in 2023. And then he says, okay, I got myself together, bro. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Then he comes back again. Months later, I'm sorry for my lack of communication. The name of the beat was My Bible. So he says, I will be getting, you can see right here, I will be getting my Bible soon. I have it written. And then he turns around and says, the beat's not what I was looking for. People lie. Handle your business in writing. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you producers. I learned that lesson the hard way. So let's get right into it. This artist reaches out to me. She has a sample in mind. Exactly like the other rapper. Exactly. But this is a far more interesting story, and you'll see why. I ask her what the vision is for the beat because this is important. I understand the concept, and I just kind of need to know what tempo she wants, because she sent me a sample. I need to know what tempo she wants, if she can send me a reference, that kind of thing.
Similar to Saweetie's song, The Way.
Great. That's a great song.
And how she sampled the Jill Scott song.
Yep.
Similar to that.
Okay, similar to that.
Style drums. I don't really know too much about that.
Okay, that's a problem. So I asked if she wants similar drums to Sweetie's The Way, if that's the reference point for her.
Not quite. Now, I'm going to explain this. I don't know if you're going to understand what I'm saying or not, but I'm going to try to.
So she has no idea what she wants, which is fine. Some people might see this as a red flag. Some people might say, okay, well, she just doesn't know what she wants. But to me, it's my job as a producer to produce. And sometimes production just means being the person who tries to pull ideas out of an artist and then create that product, especially when you're working remotely like this. We're not in the same space. We're not in the studio together. Sometimes artists just need to talk through their ideas, and that's what I'm here for. So here I am explaining, talking her through the whole process of how she can really just pick any reference and I can work with that.
Still Dre, Missy Elliott, Pass That Dutch.
Okay, so let's just stop there. Still Dre and Pass That Dutch. Two very different styles of production. Two very different beats per minute. We're talking 93 beats per minute versus 112.
Or Talib Kweli, The Blast. That's the one.
So she decides on Talib Kweli, The Blast, 94 beats per minute. Also very different, more similar to Still Dre, but very different bounds. So she actually ends up sending me the deposit immediately. This is going to be important later. I send her a preview. She says she likes it, but something's missing. It was just a preview. She still can't figure out what she wants. Now she wants the drums differently. Yeah, no problem. But do you have a different reference now if you don't like the current reference that I used?
I don't know. Let's try to like the Saweetie, The Way.
So now it's back to Saweetie. So from 94 beats per minute, super swung, boom bap, 90s era hip hop, to 60 to 70 beats per minute, modern trap. I'm going to have to remake the entire beat at this point.
I want to do a flow similar to, I guess, like, I'm going to say Nicki Minaj in super bass.
So now we've switched genres and eras and styles and tempos quite drastically about 6 times at this point. It wasn't a red flag at first because I didn't know how deep this went. The reason I say this is a red flag, because this now becomes less about the type of beat that she wants and more about the type of artist she is or the kinds of songs that she writes. Because an artist, they already have the song concept in mind, then they would have likely the cadence in mind and the tempo in mind. So they would know they wouldn't go from 130 beats per minute pop to 70 beats per minute trap to 94 beats per minute boom bap all in the same breath.
She don't know what she doing.
But I'm already in too deep at this point. But I explain this, I say, hey, look, these references are really disparate. Just to put it into perceptive, that's embarrassing. So we're just going back and forth, back and forth. Eventually she wants I don't know, she wanted something weird where there's like a tempo change and it just doesn't make sense. So then I asked her, hey, why don't you just record your verse and clap out the tempo while you rap it, and that'll help me because I can just take that recording and build the beat around that. Well, here was her response days later.
I kind of want to change the song that I want to sample from.
So now she wants an entirely different beat, different concept, different idea, different everything. The new reference is Forgot About Dre. She wants me to interpolate that track. And as you can see, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. I'm asking questions. She basically wants the same beat. Hey, whatever. At this point, if she actually has an idea in her head that she feels confident about, great. So we work it out, blah, blah, blah. I have the beat done. I'm not going to dox her email. She loves it. It's great. So I mix it, and then we can finalize it all. Blah, blah, blah. I'm ready. I say, let me know when you're ready. She says, I'm ready when you are, March 26th. I ask for her information so I can send her the signed agreement. I send it to her. I'm following up because I didn't hear from her. And now she's asking about lawsuits and stuff. It's like, come on, that was your idea. It was an interpolation. It's not a direct sample. You still got to clear the underlying composition, though. So I follow up again because it's been several days. I mean, remember, she was ready on March 26th. Thursday comes, Friday comes, following up again. She says, I'm waiting on my manager's response. This is an even bigger red flag. This is a red flag on fire. Is your manager making the final payment? Yes, he is. Why? You paid the deposit. Why does your manager need to get involved now? Okay, so Now it's Sunday, so this is many days later. Following up again, I ask her what the timeline is. She says her manager is ducking her. And I just need to be clear with her. My agreement was with you, and I completed the service that we agreed on. I need a payment timeline from you. I'm not asking her for the money right away. I'm saying, what's the timeline? And then she says, I don't have a payment timeline as of now. Where do we go from here? As of now, you were ready 6 days prior. You said, I'm ready. The beat is perfect. We agreed well over a week before this, like 2 weeks before this, exactly on the payment structure, how it would all work. I'm understanding what's happening, and it's not good. So I say, look, and this is where people will say I messed up. I say, if you aren't willing to give a payment timeline, then this is theft, and I'll have to take legal action. Thank you, best of luck. She says, I don't even have the beat. Well, she does. She has the unmixed version, but she has a full beat, so she knows exactly what it is. She said she loved it. You saw it there in writing. Nor did I use it anywhere. That's not the point. You can buy a car and never drive it. It's still something you need to pay for. She says, I already gave you a deposit. How is it theft? Well, I just send her information saying, yes, commissioning artwork and not paying for it is a breach of contract and in many cases considered a form of theft, making it illegal, blah, blah, blah. You know, I obviously can take her to court. Small claims court, but court nevertheless. And here we go. At this point, I don't even want the beat or feel comfortable moving forward with you because of tone and nature of our recent communication. I paid the deposit in good faith. Yeah, and I made the beat in full in good faith. I don't feel this is a productive or professional working situation anymore. Yes, because you're not paying. You can keep the deposit. Goddamn right I'm keeping the deposit. You don't know what a deposit is. But I will not be paying the remaining balance, and I will not be using the beat. So if I do, so listen, man, if I do take her to court, and I absolutely could, because I just got my royalty checks from the label, so I can more than afford it. She just handed me the win. It's there in writing. That's why I say do everything in writing, because she just said you performed the service. So now I'm making her uncomfortable because I'm asking for her to pay me. And this is what happens. So, okay, I don't want this to just be a frustrating story. Let's talk lessons. What can producers do to avoid this? And I would love a financial solution to this, and I'm going to provide a couple at the end. I don't think we've completely fleshed these ideas out yet, but there are some tools that we can use. What did I do wrong from my perspective? I think I was patient up to the point where I realized that she was full of shit and had no intention of paying. I don't think her manager exists. I think that was absolutely just a manipulation tactic. When I asked, hey, what's your payment timeline? The ball was in her court, and she just said, there isn't one. Basically, fuck you, I'm not paying. So this was a bridge I was willing to burn. I didn't cuss her out. I didn't call her out a name or anything like that. All I did was tell her the truth. Now, I could have been way softer, could have used really flowery language. Hey, I know how hard it is to take accountability and fulfill your obligations, but maybe you could send me $5 a week for the next 3 years, and we can do it that way. Would you like that? How is that? I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable because I'm asking to be fairly compensated for work I've already completed. I understand that you absolutely deserve all the free services in the world, but would you really just find it in your heart to pay me a couple dollars so I can pay my bills and feed my cats? Maybe she would have reacted differently to that. Maybe she would have said, yeah, I'll pay you the $5 a week for the next couple years. Sounds terrible. I don't want to do that. But there's still a chance that regardless of me degrading myself and infantilizing her by talking to her like that, the outcome would have been absolutely the same. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these services. They are not paid sponsors, anything like that. There's a website called Sound Better that I'm on that's, for engineers and music producers. I think even songwriters, anyone can be on there. And you provide services. You can even sell beats on there. It takes a approval process, and they're really picky about it all. I've sold beats on there though. And how it works is that everything is pre-funded, which I love. This is amazing. This is a great system for me, because what that essentially means is that in this case, this client would have paid me in full before I even started making the beat. That money would have been held. It wouldn't have gone straight to me. It would have been held in escrow by Sound Better, by this third party. And then once I completed the project and she liked it, that day where she said, oh yeah, this is great, I love it, it's perfect, she just would have hit project completed, and then I would have gotten the money and she would have gotten the files. How do you get somebody to use that platform? Every single client I've worked with through that platform contacted me through the platform. When you invoice someone through PayPal, and PayPal is often how people are paying you for custom beats, there is a section there here, allow partial payment, and then you can set that amount. And so that's one way. I mean, you could set the amount to, let's say you're selling a custom beat for $500, but you want $150 up front as the deposit, then you could set the partial payment amount to $150. Does that guarantee that they're going to pay every single dollar that they owe you? No, because the money's not in escrow. It's just a partial payment that you're accepting, but there is a paper trail, so that's better than nothing. Now, apparently Escrow.com does this. Again, I'm not endorsing any of these platforms. These are just ideas, but they do accept PayPal. And apparently, if you use something like Escrow.com, this will reduce chargebacks because I don't know. I guess there's more of a paper trail here too. Escrow.com is specifically for fine art. So seems like a decent place for a producer. You can just get started now, but they charge a lot. So that's the problem. After I talked a little bit about this online, some people did reach out to me and say that they were developing similar products. And I would love to have something like this integrated with all the beat selling platforms, BeatStars, etc. I would like PayPal to offer something like this. I would like Stripe to offer something like this. I don't know why there aren't more services like this that protect artists, but hopefully that changes. All I can say is that there are ways for you to reduce the chance of you getting screwed over in these business transactions. But ultimately, trust your intuition, stick to the best practices, and learn from this situation, because the second I said, hey, you're committing theft by not paying, the energy changed. She started weaponizing therapy language, talking about my tone and how she was feeling uncomfortable because she owed me some money. So if you're not willing to just completely nuke that entire situation, which I guess I was, because I was exhausted and I knew she was about to fuck me over regardless of what I did, then don't do what I did. Then really try to talk through it, come up, offer as many alternatives as possible. If you really need the money, by all means, offer smaller amounts, break the payments down, offer a payment plan. Do what you got to do. What I think you should probably avoid doing is delivering the product in full when it's very clear that somebody isn't willing to pay you at the point of completing the project. So that's where things get tricky. This is still a tough business, and we as independent musicians, as you know, whatever it is that you do, whether you're a rapper who's playing shows and you're trying to get your show money, whether you're a producer making custom beats for artists, we are our own bosses. We run our own companies. We are business entities, and we have to learn how to navigate all of the complexities and nuances of working with clients and doing business in the real world. So appreciate you watching. Much success to you. Hopefully you never work with any of the two artists that I discussed today, and much success to you. Peace.